To understand event handling in HTML and the React, first let's start with the basics. Let's start with what is the element and what is the attribute. So for each element, each HTML tag has the certain structure. So we have an element. Element may or may not have an attribute, and that attribute has a value. So for example, in this case, let's say that we have an element button and we have an attribute on click. And the value for that is the handle click function, right? But this is a string, so we are passing that as a string, and we have value for it click. So in this case, element, what is the element here, right? Button is the element, attribute is the on click, and also we have the handle click, right? So we have the handle click, which is the value of the attribute, on click attribute. So what is the event, right? What is the event in the HTML? Well, first, let's start with the HTML. An event is a mechanism that allows a web page to respond to a user interactions or browser actions. So for example, let's take this example, right? Button again. So when we click on the button, so what happens is that we need to do whatever the function, whatever we have put in this function here, right? So when we click the button here, when we click, for example, here, right? This button has a word click, right? So if we click on that, so what will happen is the first one is what are the steps will happen in the browser. Browser will parse that HTML. After that, browser will find the attribute on click, and it will recognize that it's predefined event. It converts that string, which means that the handle click, to a function, and it assigns to DOM property. So conceptually, it will look like following. So we'll have a button on click. So whenever we are click on that, so the function called, and we are calling the handle click function, right? With the event passed in there. So let's take another scenario, right? So let's say that we have not on click, but we have on call here, right? So why on call will not work in this case, right? Let's say that we have button on call and the handle call function, right? Why this one will not work? The reason is that the browser, what the browser will check. Browser will check that the element on call, it's not defined, right? So it will just treat it as another attribute. So it will try to get the attribute with the name on call. So there is no event binding and nothing is executed. The reason is that the only predefined names work, and the on-click is predefined in the DOM specification, and the on-call is not. So we have certain specifications, these two specifications here, where we are defining that which attributes should be treated as an event. So we are defining those. We are defining those in these standards, and each browser, for example, Chrome, Safari, and specifically their engine, Blink, Gecko, and so on, they are implementing whatever we have put in this contract, right? If we go to the website, and if we go to the website of the specification, we can go and see that what elements we have, right? First, let's check the elements. So for the elements, we have, for example, we have how we are making the list, and how we are making so these are all the predefined elements, right, that we have. But also for the events, right? If we search here, let's say on click, right? If we search on click, these are the attributes that have the implementation. So whenever browser sees that, okay, on click, so it will treat it as an event, and it will fire an event. So now let's go back to our code, and so now we understand that what is the event and how events are triggered when the browser sees the attribute, right? Now let's go to another way of how we can fire the event. So another way is that it's actually even better practice to use the event listener. So in that case, so for example, what we are doing here, to the button, we are adding an event listener. So for the click, we are calling a function handle click. So what the browser will do is, in the browser implementation, we are going to store listeners. For the click, we are going to call the handle click function. So it will, on click, it will loop and execute this function. So what are the advantages here? Advantages here is that, for example, for this button, we can add multiple handlers, right? We can add multiple listeners. So for example, we can call the handle click function, or we can call some other functions, and so on. That's the first one. So there is no global scope, so which means that we can create our own attribute, and we can add we can add the function for our own attribute. And also here we have a clear separation. So now let's take a look at the event. What is exactly generated, right? When we are doing certain actions, for example, let's say that when we are clicking on the button. So in that case, what happens is that the event is generated, and event has the structure, right? Event have the type, target, and the client text and the other fields. So this is our DOM native event. So events, they are, so base class for the event is event, but also we have the hierarchy of the events. For example, we have the UI events, mouse event, keyboard event, focus event. Also, we have the other types of the events, such as input, touch, and the pointer. And also, you can find all these events in the specification, right? So these are the type of the events, again, mouse event and the keyboard event that we can use in the development. So this is, so far what we have seen is all related to the how we are handling the events in the HTML, right? So because it's important to understand that first before we go to the React. So in React, how we are handling the events. So in React, so you can see the difference here. The difference is that first of all, the events we are attributes for the events, they are camel case. So for example, in this case, on click, as you can see, is the camel case. And another one is that here, instead of defining the value as a function, we are defining that as a function reference, right? So in the HTML, we are defining that as a function, as a string, and here we are defining that as function reference. So also another advantages of the React, that the React does not attach handler directly, it uses the delegation. So we are going to talk about that a bit later. So for now, let's go to see that how events are generated in the React. In the React, so we are generating, instead of generating the event, we are generating this synthetic event. What's the synthetic event? It's basically the same event, but it's wrapping around the browser event, right? So we have, let's say that the mouse event, so we have a wrap around the synthetic event, which we are passing to our handler. If we are going to compare the side by side, how the event looks like on the HTML side and on the React side. On the HTML side, it will look like following. For example, let's say for the mouse event, and on the React side, it will look like similar, but also it will have a native event field, which will point to our native event, native DOM event, right? So we have a synthetic event, which is the wrap around our DOM native event. Then the question is why the React uses the synthetic event, right? The reason is we have so many implementation for those specifications that we talked about. So it kind of standardized that process. It has the same behavior across all browsers. It also have the other advantages, such as the performance optimization, event delegation, and having the consistent API. So in the React flow, what will happen when the React will generate the event? So what will happen? A user first click on the button. Let's say in our case, let's take example again of the button. So browser will create a mouse event. So we have for each element, we have a root listener. So it listens the event and it creates the synthetic event and gives that to whatever handler that we have. So now let's go, after learning all of this, so now let's go to see that, see one example right here. So what we have here. So what we have here is we are creating several events, right? The first one is that here what we have. So we have a button, and on click we are calling the function handle increment, so mouse click event. So when we are clicking on that event, so what will happen? What will happen here is we are going to, again, in our previous episode, we have seen that, right? So we are creating one state, we are creating one variable count, and the set count, if we want to increase or decrease that count, so we are creating a function through which we are doing that. So what we are doing when we call the handle increment, call the handle increment, we are receiving here event, which is the synthetic event, and we are just in the console, we are printing that to see that synthetic event, and also it has the native event, right? Native DOM event, we are also printing that, and also we are increasing the value. That's the first one. That's our first That's our first element, right? In the second element, we are just showing the value of the count, and also what else we have. So we have also on the key down, we are calling the handle key. This is another event, right? That's another event on key handle key. So we are just here printing the whatever the native event that we are receiving. And also the last one is also there is one more thing in the event in when we are working with the HTML or React. It's called the conditional rendering. So what does that mean? So for example, let's say that we have a web page and we need to show that the one component or one part. So one part if the user logged in, or if the user is not registered, so we need to show something else. So in this case, we are using a visible. We are using a visible here variable. So we are creating a visible variable, and initially the value is true. And so we also have the set variable, which we are going to change the value from true to false, and vice versa. So that's all we have here. Now let's go and see how it works on the UI side. Let's go to UI. So I have already started. So also what else I did is I created this event handling component, and I added that component. I removed our previous components that we had, and I just added that component, right? So let's go to, I already started the server. Let's go to our application. So here with what we have. So here we have again our first one, right? When we are clicking on that, as you can see here, we have a synthetic event. So you can see the values of the synthetic event and the fields of the synthetic event, and also it has a field native event, right? So we are also printing the native event to see which fields exactly we have. So again, every time when we click on that, so we are generating the event. So and our count is increasing here, and let's remove this and let's go here and type something, right? So if we are typing, for example, every time when we are typing a letter, it generates an event, right? It generates an event, and the next one is that, so let's look at the conditional rendering, right? In this case, when we are pressing on the toggle message, so what happens is that the value changes from true to false. We are showing the user, now you see me, conditional rendering, right? So we can use that, for example, for a user to log in, or for other cases, we are using a condition